What's good, folks? It's Warframe here with a new Warframe video. It's not a build video, but a farming guide. I'm going to show you a nifty way to farm all those rare mods that you need for your builds, like Condition Overload, Bullet Dance, and etc., which could end up costing you a pretty penny. And this method can be done without using any sort of boosters, just Warframes and their abilities. And there are several videos and of course the wiki telling you where and how to farm these mods in all these different locations. But what if you can farm all these mods in one place? This is called MODDEX farming. It's a more efficient way to get those rare mods. Now, you see me in the index and you may be confused, but some of you already get where I'm going with this. Now, the method is really simple, and some of you might be banging their heads as to why they haven't figured this out yet. This method will require a bit of credits, but worth it in the end. What you basically do is go into the index and farm rare mods that drop from the enemies, and you use these rare mods that you farmed and transmute them. Transmuting requires 4 mods of the same rarity to create a completely new mod of the same rarity or lower. There is a little RNG to this, but trust me, it is way faster than going into missions for hours and have no luck with any drops. You will of course need a proper group composition for this method, and that's a Despoiled Necrose, Pilfering Strangledome Korra, Sonar Banshee, and an Energy Vampire Trinity. And everyone needs to have either 4 Corrosive Projections or 4 Shield Disruptions and 2 Coaction Drifts. Now, some might jump and ask, oh, why Corrosive Projection while you're fighting against the Corvus? Well, since Korra is going to be our main DPS, carrier, and one of the loot frames, removing alloy armor will allow her Strangledome to deal even more damage. And we have a spam Sonar Banshee. This will have the enemies completely highlighted in the damage multiplier of Sonar. And the Necrose will be there as the second loot frame with his Desecrate, along with a Despoil Augment, so you won't ever have to worry about energy. And finally, Trinity to provide energy to both the Banshee and Korra, and also provide the entire team with overshields. Now, this is a thing most people would hate, and that's camping. You need to stay in one area to force spawn enemies in a certain area, so Korra can yoink enemies with her Strangledome with ease. And MODDEX farming can also be done with 2 people, but the amount of mods isn't as great as the full squad method, but it's still worth it. And also try to avoid this particular map when farming without a Korra, as mods can fall off the map. That's a real feels bad moment. So from 2 rounds of 2 high risk indexes, I ended up with quite a decent amount of mods, so let's see what we get. And after 4 minutes of transmuting, I ended up with 1 Bite, 1 Condition Overload, and a Bullet Dance. This is way faster than spending ages on the all going into different missions for a single mod. Now, if you're interested on how each Warframe is set up in terms of builds, let's take a look. Starting off with Necrose, the role I played in all of this. I have 2 Necroses, so if you want a simple Despoil build, you can achieve that with 1 Forma, or even none. All I did was add a Polarity to the Aura, since he does not have one. But you can tweak the build to your playstyle and setup. I have Corrosive Projection in the Aura for the 30% armor strip, and enemy radar in the Exilis. Max range at 280% with the use of Stretch, Overextended, Auger Reach, and Cutting Drift. This gives me 70 meters on my Desecrate, the only ability you ever need to use in this farm strat. For some added defenses, I have Rolling Guard for the 3 seconds of invulnerability after a dodge roll, Vitality for a decent health pull since Despoil drains health instead of energy, and Adaptation at rank 8 for even more added defenses, but you can swap this out for Gladiator Resolve for more health. But with a Trinity in the squad, she provides energy and an occasional bless to fully heal you up. It's a very simple build, and it's best if you run with the Vazarin Focus School for the protective dash way node for the extra defenses to your team. Korra, the second loot frame, the carrier, and our DPS. Enemies don't have to be killed by her fourth for the extra loot, but we let Korra do all the work because, you know, we're lazy like that. Aura is corrosive projection, range is at 265% with the use of stretch, overextended, and auger reach. That grants you a 13.25 meter radius on the dome and has a 26.5 meter pull range, and you can have 2 instances of your dome active at a time, increasing your range even more. The duration is at 183% with the use of primed continuity and constitution. This gives Korra 36.6 seconds on her dome. She will have 198% power strength. This would have been higher if it wasn't for overextended, as it reduces your power strength. But for the power, we have Blind Rage, Umbral Intensify, and Power Drift in the Exilus. And lastly, Pilfering Strangledome Augment, that grants 65 extra drop chance for every enemy affected by her Yoinky Yoinky Dome. Moving on to the Sonar Spam She. That's a spam banshee that uses sonar. You get it. She'll be casting her sonar quite a bit. You don't have to spam that much, but the idea behind it is to completely cover the enemies with a sonar, so they take damage from all sources. Since none of us can use a sentinel or companions in the index, we don't have an enemy radar, so a sonar banshee provides a damage multiplier and an enemy radar. Her aura will be corrosive projection, and power strength is at 214% with the use of power drift in the Exilus, transient fortitude, and umbral intensify. Stretch for some range, since banshee will use the sonar augment resonance. The sonar will keep spreading when enemies are killed on the highlighted area. Natural talent for some casting speed, but if you don't mind that, you can just replace natural talent for umbral vitality, and you have some additional health and power. Continuity for the duration, and streamline and flow for the efficiency and energy pool. And finally, moving on to our Trinity, our support. Seriously, without a Trinity, it will not be possible, as the index can be super selfish when it comes to energy and health orbs. Corrosive projection in the aura, and the thing with Energy Vampire Trinity is that you need to have negative duration, and that's because the energy pulses from your second ability pulses out super fast, granting everyone a burst of energy. Otherwise, you would have to kill the enemy affected by the second ability to get the energy burst. And the more power you have, the more energy you give out. Transient Fortitude and Fleeting Expertise will grant power and efficiency with negative duration. And Blind Rage along with Power Drift for the additional power strength. Range is at 235% with the use of Stretch and Overextended. This gives Trinity a 59 meter radius on her Energy Vampire, and grants 53 energy per pulse, and that's 4 pulses, so a burst of 212 energy with every cast. Redirection and Vitality for the increased shields and health, and finally a Vampire Leech, which is the second ability augment, which will have all excess energy you gain replenish your shields, and grant overshields when you have max shields. A very useful augment to have. Alright guys, this is a MODDEX farming. Do share this with your friends and fellow clanmates and enjoy farming rare mods without using any form of boosters. And this is also a decent way to make plat if you already own the mod. You can trade with other players for that juicy platinum. Huge thanks to Rinzu, Chris the Thunder, and Liam for their help, or else this video would not have been possible. Alright folks, this has been it from me. I do hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to leave a like, share, and subscribe. For more Warframe content, streams, and so much more, do refer to the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.